Me'ihawa Nehinka Netwania Ne Jessa Calderon. Hello, relations. My name is Jessa Calderon. I am of the Tongva and Chumash nations. The Santa Ana River that we are discussing today runs through the Hahashiman and the Tongva territories. I would like to thank you all for coming today to share this sacred space with us and acknowledge that this is a space that the Indigenous voices need to be in. But when I say Indigenous voices, it's really important that we understand, I don't mean Indigenous voices from all over in this particular moment in time, which are very important, but I mean the Indigenous voices where this land is located. The ancestral voices need to be heard through us. So I'm speaking now of the Hahashiman Nation and the Tongva Nation. When I think of this river, I think of Mulholland, who once said, "He who owns the water owns the people." And that's very dangerous because in doing so, dams were created. And when the dams were created, our salmon disappeared. I know many people think of the Santa Ana River and Los Angeles River, and they don't think of salmon and trout. But those rivers both had a lot of life to them. So it's really important that we think of, how did these waters get contaminated? Who contaminated them? How did our waters get destroyed? Who destroyed them? And how can we revive them now? When I think of this river, these rivers, I think of how it had a natural cleansing process. This cleansing process was done by the large to little rocks, to the sand, to the roots and the leaves of the native plants that were natural to this area. And all of them together had a part in cleaning this water. And not only would it clean the water as the water flowed beautifully and freely, but it cleansed the water in a different way that many of us don't tend to think of, through frequency, through energy. Every one of us, every cell in this earth, in the atmosphere, has life, has frequency. We vibrate to frequencies. And so when the water channels through the rocks and the dirt and the roots, these frequencies were let off to put loving, healing energies into this water. And when we think today how our waters are flowing through the pipes, that energy has been removed. That clean, loving energy that fills us with the energy that we need has been removed, has been put in place with chemicals to clean the water. And we really have to think about, how does that affect us as individuals? How does it affect our children? Why are people getting sick? You know, and when I think about our communities, we lack clean water. We lack affordability to water. And these are things that we need to be at the table about. Many of us are many families living in one household. We need access to clean water. We need access to clean foods. You know, in a lot of our poor communities, we don't have very much access to organic foods without driving 15 to 25 miles out to another, grocery store that's outside of our neighborhoods. So there's a lot of things that we need to think about, not just the water, but the air that affects the water, that affects our bodies. And many of us are trapped next to major factories and places that are blowing out steam and smoke that are affecting our lungs, our bodies, and our minds, and as well as our spirits. So if you're not living in our neighborhoods, but you're speaking for our neighborhoods, consider how dangerous that could be, because you don't know our issues. You don't know what we're suffering through and what we're going through. I say this with so much love in my heart for you to open your heart, for you to open your mind and consider why it's important, not just to speak with us and find out what it is that we're facing and going through, who we are, but to allow us at the table, to allow us in these conversations, to share this wisdom, knowledge with you, and to get paid for it the same way you're getting paid for your job. Because our knowledge is powerful, our knowledge is sacred, and our knowledge deserves to be paid for. And whether it's myself, our elders, my relatives, because it's more than just me. Even though you see me here speaking, I would love to say that I speak for my entire community, but I can't always do that. There's an entire community whose voices need to be heard. So I thank you for your time. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I do look forward to speaking with you all in the future and bringing my community up to the table with you all. Awesh Koneha. Thank you.